Hi, I'm John Mitchell, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So we had three big press events this week that I just wanted to relate to you. So one of them had to do with the Coggeshall Street wastewater project, water and wastewater project that just concluded. And we have an extensive system in our city, a sewerage and water system in our city that is quite old. And we've gone about the business of replacing major sections of that network so that we have higher water quality in our harbor, but also to allow for more job growth in those parts of the city where that infrastructure is being replaced. And so it is with the Coggeshall Street project, an $11 million project that replaced thousands of feet of sewage line and water lines. And what this is going to allow us to do is cut down on the amount of sewage discharges into our harbor and really help open up some areas along Coggeshall Street for redevelopment. So I mention it because so much of what the city does, so much of what it constructs is actually out of sight. It's underground, and this was a huge project that is almost done. What's left right now is the reconstruction of the roadway, so that we have and this will happen in the spring, so that we have a nice corridor down Coggeshall Street with trees and new sidewalks, a new surface, so that that neighborhood can enjoy the full benefit of that infrastructure improvement. That part of our city certainly deserves to have first-rate infrastructure and a nice streetscape, and that's a real gateway to our city, so we want to make it look good. Secondly, we had a groundbreaking at the school that will be built on the site of the old Hannigan School on Emma and Emery Street in the South End on the peninsula. This is a project that has been long overdue. It was stalled out years ago. We worked with the state to get it back on track. The state will be funding approximately 80% of it. And it's going to be state-of-the-art. 3 stories with tremendous views of Clark's Cove, first-rate amenities for the kids in the neighborhood. It'll house about 400 students, and it'll really give our kids in that neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods, a place to learn, and obviously a place where memories can be made, and a place where they can be proud to call their own school. So that was big. That's going to happen, and we're shooting to have that open by next September for the beginning of the next school year. That's a $36 million project that, again, is funded 80% by the state. And the last thing was that there was an announcement here that was attended by the governor concerning the New Bedford Marine Commerce Terminal. It was announced that there is a letter of intent from 3 major wind developers to use the facility, which is great. We're really starting to see traction now in the offshore wind industry. We've talked about it for years. We've worked very hard to push this industry, knowing that it had great potential for our city and for our region, and it's now starting to take shape. And my commitment to everybody in our city is to continue to drive this. It's coming together, but we know that we just can't sit back and just hope that it all starts generating jobs and it all will be terrific all on its own. We need to compete. We need to initiate the action. We need to get out there and position New Bedford to become the center of this industry, just as we are with the fishing industry on the East Coast of the United States. The last thing I just want to mention is that this week marks the 15th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, and we can all remember, if we're old enough, for those of us who are old enough to remember where we were on that day. It's all seared in our memories, and it sure doesn't feel like 15 years. It's just so vivid even today. And I just want to take the occasion to say thanks for those who serve in the military and to our first responders, our fire and police and EMS who move on upon hearing the call as they did that day. And really do need to remind ourselves just how important their jobs are in our society and how risky they can be. And also to remember all those who were lost on that day and their families. So take a moment and hopefully on Sunday and let's all give thanks to what they do. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next week.